Okay, guys, good evening. How are you? We are running just a little bit late today. Sorry for the delay. I am waiting for my partners, Bhargavi and Vinod, to join in. So while we are waiting, why don't I, play something for you guys so it will keep you engaged? We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Hi, Vinod.
Hi, Karthik. Good to be back.
Yes,
Is
I
it
just
better
bought it
today?
sometime.
Is the camera better today by some chance?
Your camera, my camera.
My camera?
Yeah, it actually looks good. What did you do?
Nothing. I don't know why
I think the lighting is actually much better today.
today. Okay, maybe that's it. Could be. Yeah.
Hmm. All right. Okay, we're just waiting for Bhargavi to join. She is on IST. Our apologies, my friends. But we were just coming out of a long sort of a meeting, if you will, right, or a long pending call, which took us some time. So, maybe we can just buy some excuse just this one time.
Yeah, absolutely. We are
Yeah.
working hard. You would see from the amount of gifs and conversations that's happening on Twitter, we were actually working hard. Yeah.
Yeah, if you need some spicy masala gossip, just go on Twitter and then, just call me, fat shame me,
Oh
body
God,
shame me.
Karthik, the masala, right? Reminds me, I sent you something interesting today that reminds me, right? So Swiggy is doing this interesting campaign. I mean, it's a strange thing, right? You type
Mm,
desi masala on Google and click images, right? It shows up pictures of women. That's masala. Imagine Google picks up that first, strangely, and not dishes or food or anything else, right? And I think whoever came up with the idea is brilliant. Firstly, I think and it should obviously show something relevant, right? I mean, imagine what's being shown is a reflection of what people are clicking once they type that or what they're tagging it as, right? Strangely, yeah. And I think what Swiggy's brought in is, I think, interesting, very very thing. Yeah, you should look at that. Yes, yes. I'm going to put up some pictures of the cooking that I have done. I think I will also join that. It is a cause worthy of it. I think and it also brings this interesting question, right? Look, AI and everything, right, feeds on what we actually do. I mean, it's
mhm,
not trying.
mhm.
It won't do the right or the wrong, right? It'll just do what all of us do together. So the
Yeah, yeah.
biases of all of us is built into any system, and we just kind of demonstrated even in this case, right? In a way, it's the same
Yeah,
thing end
I
up
think
happening.
very vividly, right? Guys, if you're just joining us, any questions, feel free to type in the comments. We'll put it up here. We are just discussing anything and everything under the sky about the startup ecosystem here in India. Um, we are just discussing Desi Masala and the campaign that Swiggy is running, which is very interesting. Go ahead, Vinod.
No, absolutely, Karthik. As a marketer, right? I mean, kudos to the guy who came up with this stuff, I mean, much needed. Looks like, right? And how we look at women in the country also, right? It's a reflection, strangely, right? I mean, as I applaud the marketer, right, as much I just think what we kind of end up seeing or doing on the internet, right, is a reflection of the societal mindset. Yeah, serious talk on freewheeling, but yeah, that's actual reflection of that. Yes.
Mm-hmm. No, I couldn't agree with you more. In fact, in the morning also we're discussing about something else, right? Like how authenticity really matters. When you're communicating, whether it is brands or whether it is people. It has. I think it's very difficult to perceive, uh, and it's sort of subterranean, right? So it's there. You don't obviously. It's not in your face, kind of glaring, right? Very interesting. But I just wanted to put up this tweet from Hustle Friends Liz, right?
Hmm.
Let me just do it. I thought it was very interesting. I also wanted to get your take on it. So where is that?
Yeah. So as you do that, Karthik, I think I think a lot of activity that's happening, right? This campaign also seems to be. I think we are closer to March 8th. Is that the reason for this kind of a campaign? Also, I start to think, right, in some sense.
Yeah,
I mean, I know we are doing an exclusive course for women tomorrow and day after. I think we've closed the slots and we've shot out emails. Last week, I think we spoke a lot about it. So we are all excited for that. Tomorrow and day after, we just going to do a 4-hour course. Across 2 days for women angels. Registrations are pretty much closed, guys. Strangely, but you just want to look at what we are trying to do there. We've had like a phenomenal response, and I
yeah,
think we will talk more about it when she comes. And I think the reason for the freewheeling getting delayed is we were actually prepping for that, and that's how it kind of got delayed. Yeah, looking forward to an exciting day tomorrow and day after on this course. Yeah.
yeah. And I think it's just a happy coincidence, right, that this is happening around actual Women's Day, right? International
Yeah,
Women's Day.
actually, it was not intentional, is my sense. Yeah, but it just happened. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we've been thinking about it for quite some time, and
Quite some
then
time.
it just happened,
Yes.
and it's just a happy coincidence that this is happening now.
Yeah, but I also said last time, also last week, Karthik, right? I think we will continue to do that in every batch, right? We try and see, we can
Yeah,
have a
yeah,
couple
yeah.
of people part of deserving women, who could join part of the course, right? I think we continue to do that, and it's not like we want to do it just this one-off occasion and leave it. So I think that's
Look,
something that
I
we should.
think you're absolutely right, right? I mean, this is an ongoing thing. This will continue going forward as well. We will have more of our regular batches of angel investing courses as well. So even if the registrations for tomorrow's thing is closed, you can still go here and register. So that way, we know that you're interested, and one of us will get back to you and see if you would like to join us for our full
Future.
courses as well, right? So don't get discouraged that the registrations are closed. We just wanted to keep the number of people in those courses in the sessions tomorrow and day after to the optimum size, so that people can interact and learn from each other as well, right? So that was the only intention, not to make it exclusive or anything of that sort. So if you're interested in this, keep continue to do this. Okay. All right. So, I'm sorry. I think I messed up something. Yeah, there we go. Cool. And hey, I just have that tweet open. Let's just talk
Yeah.
real quick about this one, right? I know you're a big fan of Elizabeth Ian, the founder of Hustle Fund. But this is also something interesting that I've noticed, when I was going through some of her tweets. Right now, it shows up in my feed, and then I don't know. Did you get a chance to read this? So just to give some context for listeners who are watching this or listening to this, right? Is Elizabeth puts out these tweets on how founders interact with investors and so on and so forth, investor relationships with LPs, etc. And on this one occasion, she talked about what founders should read into when an investor says, "Hey, get a lead and then we'll talk." Right. So that's the gist of the whole conversation here. Um, I think one of the interesting things that she talked about here, is investors say that for so many reasons, but in more cases than not, it means that they don't have full conviction on the idea.
Yeah.
And I think that's fair to say, right? Especially if you leave out some of the smaller syndicates, right? If an investor is known for leading rounds at a stage, the founder is also looking to raise, and if that investor says, hey, look, get a lead, that means that there is something interesting about the founders, and they want to keep engaged. And then but they don't have the full conviction yet to make the investment into the company. Are there any other scenarios where you will see, it's not to say that they're being dishonest or anything. Wait, I also have Bhargavi here, but I think sometimes it does happen. Right, there are the appetite for investors change from deal to deal, and depends on various other aspects such as market, the execution, the capacity of the founders to execute it, and so on and so forth. Right, but have you seen anything like this, Vinod, in your experience?
No, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. Karthik, I think interesting thing, right? I think we deal with that, right? And I think very rarely that we've said, go find a lead. At least that's what I can remember of, right? I think we are a lot more
Correct.
conviction driven. We have done that. I don't deny that, but yeah, we've said go find a lead. Maybe we'll participate if it's a very large round, right? If somebody is doing $1 million round, and given that we typically can only do 150K to 50K, I think then we've said, look, you find the lead, and we'll be happy to participate. That's one scenario. If it's a very large round, I think that's what I remember as. In most other cases, right, I think we've said, look, let's go ahead and participate. If it's a small round of 400K, right, I think we've not kind of waited for somebody else lead, and we've said, look, we are ready. You go find out additional money that you want. In a sense, we've kind of become the lead rather than asking founders to go and find a lead. And I think I also keep telling this as a part of our pitch, right? Look, we would want to lead in 40% of the rounds that we do, and kind of co-invest in 60%, right? In the sense, somebody is already leading, and then it's a part of the conversation, and we kind of come in and join the round.
Right.
But I think looking at our data, I think I would say we're a lot more driven and happy to kind of lead. Or have the decision upfront and not ask go find a lead and I'll then come in. I think in most of the cases. I think you guys would agree. Maybe Bhargavi can add something to this.
Yeah. I'm not able to hear you, Bhargavi.
So you have a backup option ready today, is it?
But I think there could be one situation where, like I said, maybe sometimes investors would want to, have somebody else set the terms, right? Like the one example that you explained was, if it is a large enough round, and you're not really comfortable leading a large round like that, because your check size is going to be much smaller compared to the round size. And I think it's only fair for the investor to say, go ahead, get an investor, who usually does a largish sort of this kind of a deal, and we're happy to tag along, right? And I think those kind of responses are sincere responses, and it's important for founders to understand that just because the investor said go find a lead doesn't mean that he's trying to shoo you away, right? There could be a real interest there as well. Bhargavi, are you back?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay.
So, Bhargavi, we're just talking about an interesting tweet thread by Elizabeth Yen, the founder of Hustle Fund, about what exactly does it mean when an investor says to a founder that he should go find a lead.
Lead investor.
Right. So we just discussed that it could be that the investor doesn't have conviction, or maybe the investor wants somebody else to set the terms, maybe because of the round size or some other constraints. But do you think, are there any other scenarios where this could happen?
One thing which I think Vinod covered is, let's say if it's not a bite which an investor can take, right? They really need a lead. And it sometimes happens with angel investors as well, right? Look, I will probably write you some 100K check, but you're raising much larger, so you need a lead investor. So I think that happens, but I have seen scenarios where even very, very large marquee funds saying that if that other fund is coming in, I will probably also tag along. I think there it's either lack of conviction or looking for more validation. Otherwise, I don't see why a large fund will do. But increasingly, we are seeing deals where couple of large funds tag along together and do a deal as small as even $2-3 million, right? Because for large funds, it's nothing. It's right at the stage, right? So I have also asked because I don't want to name the company, but Axel and Sequoia joining together, we have seen, right? So, it's a question which probably they have to answer why they did couple of particular deals like that. But it's happening. But I don't know if those founders were told that go find a lead investor. But that's if at least in one company where we have seen it recently, where a very large VC fund told it, I think it's either they were looking for more validation.
Yeah. No, I think sometimes, like you said, a bunch of funds may co-lead the round as well, right? So it's possible that the fund itself, facilitates getting the co-lead to do the round. So various interesting scenarios. So the moral of the story, for founders is, just because an investor said, go find a lead, doesn't necessarily mean that he or she is always interested in the deal and will follow through. But there could be cases where the investor does legitimately believes that there should be a lead for the round. So it's often these are the things that are unsaid, right? The ones between the lines. You have to keep an eye out for lest you miss an opportunity to get funding. Great. All right. So I'll just open it up for the wider conversation. I just wanted to bring this up because we were discussing about. I think we went on a tangent on this one. Right? We were discussing about how authenticity in communication is very, very important, and then we stumbled on this. Great. All right. So what are you guys up to?
Hey, what are you guys up to? Tell me, anything interesting happened in your life today? You both met each other.
Yes, we did. We had a kadak chai that was not so kadak, unfortunately, but nonetheless, we sealed a deal on chai.
You sealed a deal on chai, nice.
Yeah. So I think the world's been waiting for some expectation from us, right? I think that signing, that deal signing is, Karthik, maybe you should talk about it. Maybe next week, I don't know. It's the longest time period, between the term sheet and the deal closure, I'm assuming. So maybe next week. Yeah, that's something also interesting. And what we've done, I put it on Twitter. We are excited. Bhargavi is also involved, so we'll see. Where that leads to. Small steps. Hopefully, big leap. Let's see.
Yeah, and Vinod scouted for some office space while we were at it, Bhargavi.
Oh, okay. For you guys, is it? Okay.
Yeah, this is bad. Not
it's
even
right,
entertaining.
It's right next to a metro station, Bhargavi. So Whitefield directly, you take a metro, you reach the office. Yeah?
I think I live in a place where combined value of the funds which are stationed here is more than $500 million. So I'm good.
There is no metro station near your place, right, Bhargavi? The nearest metro station would be like some 5 kilometers away from your place, no?
Yeah, no metro.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go, Vinod.
Yeah. So Karthik, that brings to another interesting thing that I've been telling, right? Metro, no metro, right? Right. Today, Bangalore, right, was rated as the.
Oh yeah, dude, that's an abomination.
Number one place for ease of living. Phenomenal.
What?
Yeah. in India, according to the government of India's report.
Yeah, but see, that may be true for other factors, right? Because, and maybe the survey was taken in the last year when nobody was on the road.
No, Bhargavi, where they took the survey, exactly with people like Bhargavi, who are sitting who
Sitting at
don't
home.
step out for anything, and they'll say, ease of living. Then what?
That is true. I was going to say that because for me, it's a culture shock when I go to Chennai, and people don't think I'm blaming it Chennai. I am a true blue Chennai girl, but it's a culture shock in the sense certain areas Big Basket don't deliver, so I don't know how to buy stuff. And there was a couple of areas where First Cry didn't deliver. I was like, what is what's happening?
So basically,
So
so Chennai, maybe all these players don't consider it to be like fully, relevant for delivery. Imagine that, that's not that's like they're just saying no ease of living there for you guys.
yeah, and Uber is worse than Ola there. People prefer Ola to Uber.
You know what? Good reasons. That's why Bangalore's got it ease of living. Okay, basically.
Yeah, and you have MyGet here.
Yeah,
So,
so basically, you are saying all startups.
you have Dunzo here. Wait, the list is long.
This is great, Karthik. You have done so. You have Swiggy, you have Big Basket, and everything. Yeah, you can sit home.
I'll tell you it is true because I met someone right last week, and so for bachelor, so she lives alone, and she does not want to order from Big Basket, so she just tells Dunzo, orders in Dunzo. So even if you want 1 lemon, 2 tomatoes, Dunzo picks it up and brings it. What do you want more?
I just ordered for a health test just now. I'm going to get it done tomorrow, right? I did a COVID antibody test like a couple of months ago. So basically, right, you don't need to step out of the house.
In the comfort of your home.
Yeah, everything can happen, in like within your house, literally, and that's ease of living, Bhargavi. And
That's why.
Yeah, I look up to the stars yesterday night and said, look, the skies are so clear. We can see the stars. I was telling this to my daughter. Not like you can't see stars everywhere. You can see everywhere. But ease of living, is fine, I think, right? That's what ease of living is. But it's only for people like us, I think, ease of living is, right? If the survey had covered people who have to travel in metro or people who have to mandatorily travel in the buses and in the dust and the grime that the Bangalore city, right? I was telling Karthik today, the entire central Bangalore is dug. All the way from my house till we reached this place where we had Kadak Chai, right? Everywhere it was dug. We had to walk a stretch, actually, completely. We had to walk a stretch, park our cars far away. It was like a war zone. Yeah, and what's happening is smart city, apparently. Smart city is the reason for all this, and I hope it gets smart. At least survey mein aa gaya. I'm happy it's there. I'm not happy about it. It's good that ease of living is there in Bangalore, all said and done. Compared to Haryana, they're telling 75% of people you have to get jobs in Haryana people only. If that is in Bangalore, imagine the plight, right? So that's not happening here, and I think ease of living can.
Yeah, see, and if you take pollution, Bangalore does not come first because there are other cities which are worse than Bangalore. Because
Right.
I'm really surprised about the pollution in Bangalore because the current place where I live in, there is hardly any traffic. But still, if you see the amount of dust which settles in and the pollution, it's there in the air.
Yeah, because most of the pollution is coming from the construction dust, right?
Yes, yes.
And the city is always dug up. Today on the way from Kundalhalli gate towards Indiranagar, right? They dug up the road and they didn't bother to seal it up. So it's full of dust. It's horrible,
So
and the moment you step out, it's like Vinod described, it's a war zone, literally. Like as you stand there, somebody is digging up.
Yeah, man, I'm a big defender of the city and what happens, and I've always, kind of told that I've been part of a lot of voluntary organizations previously, right? Obviously, it's improving. Every time I see, right, it's improving, right? But yeah, every time there's some work or other that's kind of going on. I don't know if it's just the same thing, what we saw today or, what's happening. Anyway, I'm hopeful as always for the city. And that brings to an interesting thing, Karthik. Most livable city in the world. and I think we all can complain, blame, right? At the end of the day, right, I wouldn't find any other city as comfortable as this one, frankly.
I disagree with that.
Yeah. I mean, maybe maybe you should try and live in other cities. Maybe
Hey, no,
See,
no,
I
think,
have
actually,
lived
some of
in.
the tier 2 cities are actually much more livable. I'm telling you, right?
I
Tier
wouldn't
2
compare.
cities are definitely much more livable. Less traffic, less pollution.
But you don't
And
Karthik, you don't get the
you
same.
don't get a dunzo.
Yeah, you don't
That's
get
the
the
problem.
Dunzo. You don't get the big basket, right? Like I was in Mysore, I was telling you last week, right?
Yeah,
So cool. People don't honk. People wait for you at the
correct,
6
correct.
hours. I'm like, boss, that's like a chill city. That's like 99
Yes.
Bangalore.
Hmm.
You can go back if you don't want a very fast life. That could be an interesting option. I don't deny. But Bangalore has all that stuff, and it has funding, man. You should see the report, right? Bangalore had the highest funding, highest number of deals happening.
Yeah.
Everything's happening here, right? You are in the middle of, action, literally, right? And that's why Bangalore.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it does. I think I also think the government should give more money to Bangalore, central government, because we are paying so much taxes.
Don't even, dude.
I don't
even
know
open
if we
that
are paying
banner as
taxes. Don't get me started, okay?
No, not we.
Ever paid any directs?
Yeah, you've not paid Bhargavi. You've not paid Bhargavi. Okay, there's a echo. Okay,
Bhargavi, I think we can hear you now. Can you go ahead? No, we can't.
You have muted me.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Hello.
We can hear you. Okay, I am echoing.
No, me too. I think, okay.
Yeah.
Earphones would help.
Okay. Okay, we've spoken enough about Bangalore.
Not a good week for me and electronics, okay? Earphones is also acting funny.
Hey, Bhargavi, this is all signs that you have to dump it and get an iPhone. Okay.
Guys, this freewheeling has been like completely out of the whack. Bangalore traffic, infrastructure, ease of living.
Very useful freewheeling till now.
Yeah,
Yes, this is a wine fest.
Hey, this has become like news freewheeling. We're talking about local news kind of stuff. It's become What's happening to startups, man, and all this?
What's happening with?
What's happening to the startups, right? What's happening to the ecosystem?
See, and one more good thing is because we live in Bangalore, we funded E-planes. Because we know the pains.
I think every Bangalorean will be willing to fund an e-plane. Okay.
Yes.
And they'll be willing to buy also. The market.
Then they started telling about problem statement. No. Just move on. Problem is clear.
Yeah. Shout out to Satya and Pranjal for getting Naval Ravikant to invest in e-plane. Naval realized that we have a problem in Bangalore. Sitting out of the valley. That's like phenomenal, right? Bhargavi, we realized it sitting here. Imagine he realized it sitting in the valley, right? So I think kudos to him, and it's great to have Naval in one of the first investments I think he's making in India. Probably he's made a few, I'm sure.
Yeah. But I want to add one more thing, interesting thing. I think this is all our Twitter and LinkedIn timelines is also making Naval famous because I at least had 4 or 5 people asking me who he is, why is it a big deal? Then I said, go check it out. What is it? What are you asking?
Interesting.
And
so there are folks who don't know Naval. I agree. He has just 1 million followers on Twitter, Bhargavi, if you notice, right? He's kind of well known within the startup ecosystem and in the founder ecosystem and the venture ecosystem, right? I think that's how it is, right? Yeah. I think Shah Rukh Khan will have more numbers, Narendra Modi will have more numbers. Naval will not have, right? He's just 1 million. Yeah, interesting take. Yeah. Not everybody knows. Great. But I think, for us, right, I think, look, there are 2 things that happened this week, for all of us, if you ask me, right? E-plane, being on Young Turks, we saw a little bit of our logo on TV, right, for the first time. I don't know if you guys know or believe this. There's a long kind of association with Young Turks, even for me, and you guys told about it, right? Young Turks is almost 20 years old, literally.
Correct. Not so young anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say.
And Karthik, you should imagine Sherin hosting it 20 years younger, right? And starting this show, right, in the first place. And for me, right, that was like extremely, new, and the approach, what she was trying to talk about startups. Nobody used to talk, man. 20 years ago, right? I'm saying, who used to talk about startups? Frankly, right? I joined in 2006 a startup, right? And that's the only little bit of news that you could talk and see about startups on TV, and nobody else spoke about it, right?
Correct.
One of the longest shows, and it's always been aspirational to see, and actually, right, Just Books also came on Young Turks, in 2013 or 14. I was working with Just Books, right? I saw that, one of the interviews happened for the founder Sundar on Young Turks. That was another moment I remember again,
This must be like pre-Your Story days, right?
Your Story was there then. Yeah. I think
Definitely pre-Your Story, I know, because when I used to watch Young Turks, there was no way.
No, you're right. Young Turks is pre-Your Story. Your Story is somewhere in 2008 or 7. Roughly there. Even on Your Story, right, I had Just Books founder coming up there, he's sitting in this Bangalore, IIM's Bangalore's wild campus, and Shraddha being there, very, very early video. I don't know if it's still there around, but I've seen that, that's like 2008-9 kind of types, I think, frankly. And this one, right, is aspirational. And I think, for me, I think some things feel like, okay, great, what could be even more next is, someday, right, either or any of us, right, getting called to talk, right, I think that'll just fill the circle, Karthik. I hope Sherin and Megha is listening. We are open to talking on Young Turks.
No, Vinod, for me, the bar is, slightly higher because I need to share panel with a certain somebody.
Okay.
That would be like done,
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, flying. Who's this someone, Karthik's guessing. Sorry, yeah.
No, somebody who is my mentor, if you will.
Okay. First letter of the name.
But all of this, after we get like 100x, 200x returns, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's interesting to see that. Yeah, great. So E-Plane is flying. Let's see. We have new people and hoping to see what's happening next. And also, right, interestingly, Karthik, E-Plane is registered for this challenge called 2029 challenge. Which is trying to build a 100-seater electric plane. They're part of this new challenge also, apart from that.
Oh, wow. Great. Awesome. Yeah.
So that's something, they're kind of, registered. And it's great to see us on TV. Thank you, Karthik.
Thank you for pulling it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll make it
interesting. Oh, yeah. Okay. Good amount of self-marketing ho gaya. Thanks.
So that's Professor Satya for the people who don't know much about the founders. Great guy. He was on Freewheeling also. I think almost a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, somewhere around that time.
Yeah. So Bhargavi, let's switch gears, right? We initially spoke a little bit about the Angel course for women tomorrow and day after.
Okay, you did. Okay.
Yeah, we did speak a little bit about it. How excited are you? And we told why we are late. Because we are preparing for the course in a way. That's what we told. Yeah. So are you excited? You're looking forward. What's your?
Yes. It's exciting, and it's also a little nervous because we have really tried to pack a lot of things in a 4-hour session, right? So we just don't want to not get any value. So for all who are seeing, that's my husband. I had to change locations today.
He was a feeling, is it?
Come
So
on, Nanda, show your face. We'll say hi to you.
No, I won't.
you Twitter.
Yeah.
Hi.
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 Hi, Nanda.
Nice meeting you guys.
Same here, absolutely. Put
Same
more
here,
money into
Nanda.
our startups, Nanda.
What
Bhargavi,
is that?
I'm saying put more money into our startups. Bhargavi says, no, Nanda is not willing to put money in our companies at all.
Unfortunately, my company is not giving me more. No, but
Now
it
we
is
know.
pretty tempting. I'll tell you, it's pretty tempting. Every time she describes about a company, I'm really want to go and invest into that. Probably
Then she's
more.
doing a good job. Then Bhargavi is doing a very good job.
No, Bhargavi, I don't agree. Bhargavi is doing a good job. She's like, internal money में conservative रहेगा, external में तो धूमधाम करेगा.
No,
We'll
Vinod,
cut
come
this
on, we
out,
are on
okay?
air. You can't tell it. I'm just
We're
trying to
gonna cut this
balance
out.
because I'm all in. So somebody has to put food on the plate. So
We're all in.
yeah.
No
Yeah.
second choice.
You know what you should tell Bhargavi, the nice way to cover that for what I told is, we have double income, one income, please invest in startups and encourage startups.
Totally. And that brings to the point for tomorrow's session, right? That's exactly what we are trying to do.
Okay.
So I
All
will.
right, folks, have fun.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Take care.
So yeah, I was saying it's nervous because I think we just want to really provide quality, which to make use of the entire 4 hours. So I think we have been preparing a lot on how to crunch things and still ensure that we get across the points, because some of the things can really become heavy. But I'm really excited because I think we are expecting to meet quite a lot of people. Many people have already accepted the invite. And it's going to be a good dynamic of batch, right? We have people from corporate, we have people who are already running their syndicate, people who are already angel investors. Some people are from VCs, and also I think we have a couple of very very young folks who are just finishing college or just finished college. I think we consciously tried to keep this mix because it's going to bring that diversity and color in the discussions as well. So I think it's going to be really exciting, and let's see how it goes. So hopefully then we can try and do one more of this.
Awesome. I am also excited. I think this idea has been there for some time now, and I think finally we get to execute it tomorrow. And
I think it came at the right time, right? So many people are talking so much about Women's Day, and we are just doing and showing.
I was telling this Karthik earlier, right? We didn't aim for it that way, and it just so happened, the timing of that, that's what it kind of happened.
The universe conspired.
Yeah. Hopefully the universe conspires for a lot of good things that should happen to what we're trying to do, right? Yeah. And I kind of should thank a lot of people on Twitter, right? A lot of people retweeted the tweet, including fellow VCs, a lot of them, right? And I think that kind of gave the reach, for example.
And also on LinkedIn, many people mentioned that I'm commenting for reach, and they commented. So thanks a lot for all you people. We got so many text messages, personal WhatsApp messages saying it's a great initiative. So thanks for all that support.
Absolutely. Great. Is there a unicorn this week, guys? I mean, I go by my theory. There's one unicorn every week. So is there a unicorn? It's there, I think, right? This week we had a unicorn birthed. Infra.market this week, last week.
That was last week.
Okay, so this week we don't have unicorn. Okay, interesting. So 1 week skip. Next week we'll have a unicorn, guys.
I think we
have a Sunicorn, no, in off business.
Yeah, pretty close to being a unicorn.
It
Yeah.
got 500 million, not there. 500 million.
Yes.
Sunicorn.
I think I'm thinking we should put up a webpage or something, and track them. A lot of people are tracking it now. Unicorn, which week, which month, right? And you should see the gaps, right? I think it's very, very interesting. That's what's happening. Unicorn birthing is happening real fast. Yeah.
I wanted to tell one more thing. See, this is what we do in freewheeling. Vinod and Karthik don't know what I'm going to tell, right? Uh, so if you're somebody who wants to get your hands dirty in what happens behind the scenes in a VC fund, do reach out to us. We are all ears, wanting to know your interest and how we can work together. So I don't want to name it as an internship or any position, but I think we are interested to talk to people who just wants to understand more on what's happening here and also spend little bit time and give us a support.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put the email up there, so you can shoot us an email. That's actually the best way to reach us because we read every email that hits the inbox. And in fact, it's not anybody else. It's one of the all three of us most likely, or at least one of us will be looking at it.
Yeah, absolutely, Karthik. Yeah, I think we've had a few interesting people who applied voluntarily. Write a good, sharp, cold email why we should, want to work with you or you want to work with us.
Yeah, and show us the character, right? I mean, if you're quirky, make sure that you show it because we just received one of those emails which I loved actually. Um, it's a very quirky sort of goofy kind of an application, if you will.
Yeah, yeah. So we're looking forward to some people joining us. That's what Bhargavi is saying. That means, whatever little money we are planning to make, we plan to give it to you. Please come and join us.
Oh, we're making money?
Karthik, this person needs money, right? You forget us, I have to tell that whatever little money that we were going to make, we're going to give it to this person who's going to come and join us. At least we'll talk to them now, if not us.
True. But I didn't know that we're making money, man.
So what caught your eye, Karthik?
Hey, we already discussed what caught my eye, but we didn't call it the what caught my eye, right? We just talked about it. But there are many things that caught my eye this week. Okay, I think one of the things that caught my eye was just today. Trifecta just announced their latest fund, 140 mil, and I think earlier in the week, Kalari has announced their fourth fund. So more power to the founders who are looking to raise funding. Um, it's a good development. Anything else? Oh, and Bloom's announcement with the secondary fund, that certainly is very, very interesting, and that definitely caught my eye this week.
Yeah. I think the Bloom secondary is a very interesting development, Karthik. I think that's also been on my mind. How do you put together something which is not there in India first time? That way, Bloom's probably set something for a lot of people to kind of build on top of it. Frankly, yeah. And this official announcement of Kalari is great. Both of us are from Kalari, and we've learned a lot from there. And to see what's happening at Kalari, and they've already made a bunch of investments, and looks pretty interesting. I think I at least absolutely look forward to working with everybody in the ecosystem, including Kalari, right? So I'm like excited to.
Hopefully, we should do a deal soon, man. I think that would be like a real kicker,
Yeah.
When we do a seed deal with Kalari.
Whenever that happens, that'll be a very interesting thing to happen.
Yeah. And also, one of the things I'm referring to the email that Vani has sent a bunch of founders and investors, right, which we also received. What she mentioned was about the local capital, right? I think oftentimes, we overlook the Indian capital available and tend to take the easy route, if you will, and see if we can raise money abroad because it's easier to make the sale or not, or whatnot, right? But I think it's interesting that funds like Kalari are actually nurturing the local LP base. This should be good for even smaller funds, who are looking to raise funds soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Chirate is done to a good extent.
Chirate has done it. You're right. Yeah.
And Bloom first fund, I think, was Ladakh. Maybe
Correct.
slightly.
Correct.
No, I think local capital can regenerate and a lot of money being generated, right? I mean, imagine if Bhargavi gets a unicorn exit, she'll deploy it back, right? That's how it's going to get generated.
I think she's close, no? Isn't she close?
Yeah, she's pretty close to getting an exit.
That should be the big announcement actually this week. Sorry for outing you.
When that happens, right, she'll bring the town to party at our house.
Yeah.
all Java portfolio founders, at least, and us also.
The partners
that goes without saying. Yeah, a party is on me if that happens.
Like Karthik, I promised somebody, a party, when I get some exit at least, right? Like that after putting a large bill, right, this week.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Cool. I think you should tell our investors, if you're investing with us, you foot the bill.
After listening to you, right, both of you, they are not going to ask any more questions.
They're like, we don't want to see you, this is interesting, just close the funding round on Zoom. Just like, Rahul mentioned about Trifecta, closing the last round of funding on Zoom, which is very, very interesting, right? I mean, it's amazing if you can do that.
Look at us also, right? How many investors have we met in person? We've not really.
True.
This is the first person this week that I met in person, one of our investors. Of the pool of 40, 50 investors, this is the first person that I've gone and physically met. Like,
in a long time.
Yeah, and I think to just put out the number, right? I think we would have done close to 1 million kind of deployment at least. Number of deals that we'll announce later. We have,
actually more than million.
Every week, so it's okay.
The number keeps chasing it, and we've not announced one also yet for this year so far. Yeah, please hold on, guys.
Correct. Yeah. Great. And what about you, Bhargavi? You wanted to talk about you're working on something, right? SPACs.
Yeah. I didn't want to tell it. I just wanted it to be a little secret.
A surprise. Okay. You didn't hear this.
Yeah.
We'll move on.
So that will come when it comes. But what caught my eye is a trend. It's not a single event, like infra market, business, or off business, right? There is a move to this B2B platforms and commerce again. I was just reading, right? Just Dial has also started JD Business. Then India Mart is upping their game. They just, I think, raised 1,000 crores or something in QIPs to strengthen their digital forte in mainly B2B commerce sort of platform, plus probably a little bit of fintech and all that. So I think there is a big shift happening in the overall industry in B2B commerce now, which is going to be very interesting. I don't know whether it means anything for people like us, because I think there are a lot of companies which are way ahead in the game. But it's probably going to be a wave which is going to happen, at least in terms of funding and in terms of unicorns is what I expect. With traditional businesses also coming in, right? So I expect at least some consolidations also happen in this field. So that is a trend which I have been, I saw over this week and read a couple of articles.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Let's see. A lot of stuff. Awesome, Karthik. I think that's like good note. Next week we'll have an announcement. Karthik, how about a funding from us?
For sure. Done. Yeah, that will be the first announcement of this year, right?
Yeah. Technically, yes. The first announcement of this year, yes. That's like 2 months into the year.
Which probably will happen only in freewheeling because the founders want it to be a little low key.
Correct.
What's the plan?
That's right. So we're not. This is only exclusively for listeners of freewheeling.
Yeah. Freewheeling is anything but exclusive. Yeah.
That's true, actually, but that's the reason why, guys, you have to listen to this. There's a lot of information, and this is the true test of transparency, if you will, right? I mean, is there any topic that we haven't really discussed and said, no, we should not discuss this stuff? I don't think so.
Yeah. No, I think Karthik, we are the only VC, who are so transparent and talk
Transparent,
about
yeah.
lots of nonsense on freewheeling. Suddenly, we have our, spouses coming in between and kids coming in and
Yeah,
then,
coaxing them to invest.
yeah, and then you also have Vinam coming. I heard funding announcement. I missed it.
Hi, Vinam. Join us next week early. We are going to make the announcement only next week, but early.
Yeah, at 6 o'clock we'll join. Bhargavi will not be there. Okay, we'll make the announcement. Yeah. Awesome, guys.
All right. So on that positive note,
Yeah, on that note,
have a great week.
yeah, we've done some good stuff, I think, this week. Let's, I'm like excited to see next Friday now. Let's see. All that kind of happens. Excited. Let's see.
Yeah. I am super excited for tomorrow's session. It's something that is very close to all three of us, our hearts. So yeah, we're gonna have to break a leg tomorrow.
Yo, see you then.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Good evening, guys. Yeah, bye-bye.
Happy weekend.
Happy week.